What's up everyone? So me and my wife are building a custom house in the country, and today is the dig date where Wayne Homes will actually start on digging the hole. So we already had the site prepped, we had the driveway put in and land cleared. So right now I'm setting up the GoPro to get a time lapse. It should be a pretty cool process, so let's check it out. Now that we saw the time lapse, let's break down everything that goes into dig day and the foundation step. Dig day starts with meeting the field manager at the property and him mapping out the house. This is not only where the digging needs to happen, but how deep they need to dig. When digging, the homeowner is asked to stay until they reach the depth of the foundation. This is to ensure there are no initial issues such as large boulders that will need dealt with or anything else that will make digging the foundation challenging. We had great soil and shale in my case, so the excavator was good to dig the remainder of the basement and where the garage walls would go. After the digging was complete, the straw was laid down to limit washout in the areas that were dug out, and the digging was able to wrap up in 2 days. Next we're on to the concrete footer, and for that the guys needed to lay down the forms. The depth of the digging is determined by the frost line. The frost line in Pennsylvania is 48 inches, so that means the footers need to be 48 inches below where the final grade will be. These footers are 8 inches high and 16 inches wide and go around the perimeter of the building, perimeter of the front porch, and perimeter of the garage. A concrete truck comes to pour the footers. They are finished and then left to cure. Once cured, the forms are removed, the drainage for the French drain is laid down, and discharge pipe laid out. The last step of the footer before the block is the gravel backfill of the basement and around the perimeter of the basement where the French drain is. We'll get to see this truck in action a little bit later. This took an additional 2 days. Next is the block, and the guys made quick work of this. They knocked out the block around the basement in the first day and the block around the perimeter of the garages and porches in the second day. After the block is done, the garage can be backfilled with gravel. This is the cool truck that shoots out gravel. Before this is done, the walls are braced using some rebar that was set into the footer. The waterproof spray can also be applied and the liner can be laid. The last step of foundation is to backfill the dirt around the house and the porch areas. A couple of the specifics to our house that influence the foundation are: number 1, the layout of the house and the additional garage space. 2 is that we wanted 9-foot ceilings in the basement, so this required an extra course of block. 3, we wanted a walkout from the basement, so this required leaving an opening for the door and also digging down enough where you could walk straight out from the basement to the backyard. Since we have a covered front porch, we need extra support where the posts will be, and then in the basement, instead of having posts, we opted for the one steel beam running along the length of the basement. Now that all that work is done and we can see the layout of the house a little bit better, this is where the main garage door will be. It'll be an 8x16 garage door. This is where the secondary garage will be. It'll also be an 8x16 garage door in the front. In the back, we will have a 9x10 foot garage door. Over here will be the front porch of the house, and right here will be the front door of the house where we opted for double doors. From the back of the house, you can see this is where the double door entry is. We'll have stairs in this area. Coming out of this side, there is a man door that will exit the garage leading into the backyard, and this is where the sliding glass door will be to exit the basement. Now that foundation is all wrapped up, they'll be moving on to framing next week, and that'll be the next video.